everyone to MVLE's virtual awards celebration. We have heard that this event is always the highlight of the year for everyone at MVLE.
And while we can't be together in person to celebrate, we still have a fun evening planned for you. And you know what? Tonight is all about you, celebrating the ways you have risen to the challenge that is 2020, continuing to work with purpose as we pivot into a virtual world. Like for me, that means a lot of cooking and cleaning, because all the places where you would get that done, they're all closed.
For me, that was going back to school online, but I also did all of the cooking and cleaning because you did none of that. As we enjoy tonight's celebration, remember the MVLE mission to create futures one person at a time for people with disabilities and other barriers through employment and support services.
As well as the MVLE vision, a world in which all individuals are valued and empowered to achieve their greatest potential. I'm still working on that.
Alrighty, can everyone hear me? I'm going to go ahead and begin. I just want to thank Reese Waters and Ellen Bryant, both are news anchors from WUSA 9, Channel 9. Reese Waters opens up every morning with Wake Up DC, and Ellen Bryant manages the anchor for Great Day, Washington, both of which are very dynamic in their own right. They recently celebrated their wedding in the midst of all this pandemic, and I can relate to that because this year end I celebrated my last child's wedding and we managed to kick it off. So did they. But they are also known for opening doors, telling stories, and reaching their audiences. Reese worked with us one other event for our golf tournament and hosted also as a comedian, as you can see in that little video. But also that Ellen has a TED Talk that I encourage all of you to look it up because her story is very inspirational and it's very fitting about having a voice. So welcome MVLE family, and thanks Ellen for using your voice. I can see very much positive energy in the future with our working with purpose. So without further ado, I know that last year we celebrated in front of you, on stage, together, side by side, excited about the new dresses and the new suits and the dinner that was before us. And yes, it is sad that we're not together, but it hasn't stopped us any. As you saw leading up to this opening, many pictures of what our staff has been busy doing. And tonight we will be able to talk about that and show you firsthand and celebrate with you. Though much has changed this year, we can still be together. We're together, we're continuing to work with purpose. While we're not side by side, yes, but we are going to rise to the challenges before us and continue to rise during 2021 ahead. Last year's annual dinner, we announced our new vision, a world in which all individuals are valued and empowered to achieve their greatest potential. Our world has changed, but our vision has not. We are still fighting each day to build a world where everyone is valued and empowered. Perhaps even more, so does this statement bring true, as witnessed in our lives today as well. It is a bold course ahead. It is our path forward, but it also is taking a page out of our beginning, where our 4 families came together to realize that there needed to be something in place to support people with disabilities. And this very organization and how it got started by a group of concerned citizens. And we are here to do the same thing, taking a look at how do we pivot, how do we take our 48 years of experience and move forward. We're going to show you that this evening. Together, we have pivoted and we have embraced new ways of delivering our services. We have begun with virtual learning programs, a power of possible curriculum, morning moves, take 2, working with Margot Bailey, MPower Me, My Guide, and Neon, which is a subject matter expert team that's working with us to discover new ways to deliver our supportive employment program. We are very excited about the strength that our staff have shown, and we are blown away. Our board of directors are impressed, our senior leadership, on how well our staff have come together. Our volunteers, our donors and partners have risen to the challenge as well to strengthen our individuals and our relationships in our communities. We look forward to this evening, and we also are going to tell you a little bit right now of the accomplishment of 2 of our staff that are going to speak on behalf of all of our staff, because we couldn't just not talk about all of them for their efforts and what they've given to our organization despite the pandemic. Steve Aiden and Takesha Fitzhugh will be speaking on behalf of all of our DSPs and all of our staff, as well as our amazing volunteer program, our dynamic leader there, whom you've met before, Sabrina Gibson. And we will continue to innovate. We will continue to show all of the details of the programs I spoke about, but sort of live through the lens that you're watching us. MVLE will continue to innovate, adapt, and our programs into the future. And we will do that with your continued help and support. Thank you for being part of this first time ever virtual annual meeting. And without further ado, I want to give just a little notice that there is a chat box feature on your Zoom, that if you have any questions, go ahead and put them there, and Sarah and Arian will get that information to us. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our board chair, retired Rear Admiral Michael Smith. He speaks volumes in strategy and leadership and seen so much more than what we're witnessing today. And through his leadership has helped us with the path forward. And I look forward to him introducing our rest of our board. Thank you. Mike?
Thank you, April. Can you hear me? And so I just wanted to take this opportunity, first of all, to thank all of you for joining in tonight. You know, it's unfortunate we have to meet this way virtually. I think this dinner has always been the highlight for me. The ability to meet everyone and to see the accomplishments and to be able to recognize the amazing work by the individuals that are supporting MVLE. So I'm disappointed we can't get together in person. It's certainly understandable. I look forward to next year as we all can get together. And I look forward to what we'll accomplish between now and then as we try and overcome the barriers that have been given to us as we advance our mission. I have one very quick business item I'm required to put out as far as our annual meeting. And that is just to let you know that the minutes from our last annual meeting are online. You can review them. You can go to our website at mvle.org and you'll have the ability to review those minutes. I have 2 functions tonight, and that's really to thank both our board as well as our corporate sponsors and our major donors. That's always something I do. I'll tell you that this year, it can't be more important. With all the challenges that have gone on associated with COVID, both groups just need a special recognition. The board of directors, they're all volunteers. Many of them have been supporting MVLE for many, many years. And this year, being able to leverage their insights and their recommendations and their leadership to be able to support April and her senior leadership team, as well as the staff. You know, it just was absolutely remarkable to see the dedication of this group. So if you will, I'd just like to first thank the board, the fellow officers, or Tamara Vineyard, she's the vice chairman, as well as Kathy Pennington, who's the treasurer, and Karen Roberson, who's the secretary. They've done a great job in making sure that the board continues and meets, and our objectives are there to support April. And additionally, the rest of the board members, who again have been doing this for many years, include Mitchell Pratt, Christine Landau, John Pellegrin, Brittany Wismer, and Tammy Shapiro. Again, they're just a great bunch of people. I wanted to take the time to thank them for everything they've done. And then finally, to the sponsors, the corporate sponsors, and our private donors. Of all the times when this is such a critical effort, this is the year. We haven't been able to have our traditional fundraising efforts, such as Farm to Table or the golf tournament. So the generosity of this group to be able to support our mission just has to be recognized. So if I can just read down the list here, you see the names in front of you, but Kovar, Metasked, Anvil Systems Group, Daycon, and Gabriel Home Foundation. Thank you so much for all your support, as well as the Mount Vernon Columbus Club, Artfax Fairfax, the Fairfax County Nonprofit Stability Grant that we got, Colonel Tofi and Margaret Owen, the Estrada family, Marlena Thompson, the Pinch Keeler family, and of course, again, to all the donations and the support throughout the year from the board of directors. So thank you all. Again, it's absolutely critical for what we're doing. And that concludes my official requirement. I'll let April take it over from here, but to all of you, thank you for your support. For those who are recognizing tonight, thank you so much, and congratulations on your accomplishments. And I only wish we could be in person to be able to clap and see you and recognize you, but we're all here virtually, and I'm just amazed with the accomplishments. So back to you, April. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Greatly appreciate your taking the time and your support over the past several years. We can't do it without a strong board, and we can't do it without our strong partners and donors and sponsors. But the next segment that we're going to talk about tonight is some of the things that are going on right now, that it's an election year. But more than that, does it relate to MVLE? Over the past 48 years, we've had great working relationship with our legislators, both locally and state, that support our mission and our vision to help individuals with disabilities reach their greater independence. Without that kind of support, it makes organizations like MVLE hard to work within the community. But it isn't just our voices or our organization. It's all of your voices that are here tonight. And I've just been informed that there's over 80 people online joining us tonight. Who would have ever thought that we would be meeting virtually through the lens of some company called Zoom that would be supporting how we're connecting? But we are. And we are going to continue to show you more on how the connection of social media, of our volunteer programs, and how they all connect. But I also want to, the pixel that opened tonight, there are many faces and many people that are behind the scenes that are working tirelessly to connect all of those pictures into an organization. And it's the advocacy of your voices when we reach out and ask you to send an email to advocate for the CARES Act money. It happens because of all of your connectivity and reaching out to our legislators. So without further ado, I would like to add that we'll be witnessing 2 videos that will bring in their voices to tell you what it means to them as state legislators. You'll be hearing from Senator Dave Marsden and also Delegate David Reed.
Hey, how much I appreciate the opportunity of congratulating MVLE for all the work you've done with the disability community over the years. I remember first getting involved with MVLE back with Mount Vernon Lee Enterprises with Joseph Permelin back in the 80s. Something he told me always stuck with me. He would say that very often someone elderly show up at the door with an adult child who had never had service before in their life. It was a real challenge for the organization, how far we've come. We're addressing the problems of young people early when they need it the most. And when they're adults, they're able to function so much more positively and strongly and independently. I just want to thank you very, very much for the work that you do. We've come a long way. We have a long way to go. You can count on me for support, and thank you very much for all you do.
Hi, this is Delegate David Reed, representing the 32nd District, which is the eastern portion of Loudoun County. I'd really like to say thank you very much to the MVLE organizers for including me in your virtual annual meeting. I know that we would really rather all be together, but this is really the right and best way for us to be able to interact with each other during the COVID-19 pandemic. I'd also like to say thank you to all of you, because the work that you do every day to help those people in our society who are in most need is really a true reflection on the quality of the people that we have in our community. And so again, I just want to say thank you very much for all you do. Many of you have probably heard me say that the budget is about priorities and a vision of what we want Virginia to be. I will tell you, one of the most things that was important for us to do during the special session budget was to be able to restore the $46.9 million that will support the Developmental Disability Waiver Program. This added 250 DD waiver slots back in, and also increased the rates for skilled and private day nurses. And this is just so important because we have to make a commitment to this part of the community. As far as what you can do to be able to stay involved, I would really encourage you to identify who is your state delegate, who is your state senator, and reach out to them and contact them with information about the work that you're doing and how it's helping people throughout the community. And I will tell you, some of the most beneficial things that I've been able to do is to be able to talk with people in your community and people who are supporting people. And that really helps me understand and have a much better grasp on the challenges that you're facing. That then allows me to go back into the Appropriations Committee and advocate really hard on your behalf. And I think when you have people like myself and others who hear those stories, then we're much more inclined to be able to support the funding for that. And we identified that funding and made that a priority for what we were able to come out of the special session with. So again, enjoy the rest of your annual meeting. I really do look forward to the opportunity when we can see each other all again in person, because I really do get great value out of being able to interact with you and the people that you support in your community. So again, thank you very much, and please stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
There goes my heart beating, and you are the reason I'm losing sleep. Please come back now. There goes my mind racing, and you are the reason that I'm still breathing. I'm hopeless now. I'd climb every mountain and swim every ocean just to be with you and fix what I broke. Oh, 'cause I need you to see that you are the reason. There goes my hand shaking, and You are the reason my heart keeps bleeding. Let me meet you now. If I could turn back the clock, I'd make sure the light defeated the dark. I spend every hour of every day keeping you safe. I climb every mountain, swim every ocean, just to be with you, fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see you are the reason. Climb every mountain and swim every ocean just to be with you and fix what I've broken. Oh, 'cause I need you to see you are the reason.
Thank you, Senator Marsden and Delegate Reed, for your kind words. How wonderful it was to be able to hear firsthand from them and connect you to their message. Oftentimes we get to meet with them and hear firsthand how important it is to understand what they need to hear about a person with a disability. From your sons and daughters and from the individuals themselves to be able to hear what is needed in their community. It's how the community connects together, the legislative process. They spoke very well to our mission and to the vision ahead. And our heartbeat video is new this year. And thanks to Alex Corey and Sarah Caldwell for putting that together, because it's similar to the quote that Little Prince once wrote. It's only with the heart that one can see rightly what is invisible to the eye. We're hoping that our videos and our messaging is hoping to connect that invisibility and to connect it to the heart. As you saw in that video, the heart speaks so much louder at times to the skills that sometimes cannot be seen. But tonight is also about recognizing our community heroes and celebrating many people. First of which is, as we've done in years past and in live annual meetings, we recognize the President's Award. The President's Award is developed to help recognize and celebrate the accomplishments of individuals that have risen to the challenge in meeting their goals. This year, I'm very excited to recognize our 2020 President Award winner, Joey McCracken. Joey McCracken has been with us over 20 years. He's been in a variety of roles in different programs. He has always been striving to achieve his goals and to reach greater independence. Even during the pandemic, Joey had his sights set on his goals, and Joey went beyond thinking that he could sit at home. He was working at the State Department in a what we call an enclave, and unfortunately that enclave had to shut down. Joey didn't want to sit at home. He wanted to strive for his goals, spoke with his employment team, and they went job searching, and they found an opportunity at Giant. And at Giant, he is performing the role of a customer service person beyond just bagging groceries, getting the carts, but he's there to be able to brighten someone's day with even through that mask that you see, with a smile, with a thumbs up, with an encouraging word, and everyone looks to him to have that bright spot, especially during this time. His supervisor, Sandra, said he is a pleasure to work with. And anytime anybody asks for him, he does whatever he's asked with no complaints. He's doing a great job. I had the opportunity to visit him. And as I waited in line, just like everybody else, he looked up at me and nodded and knew I was there to congratulate him. Every person he works with says positive things about him. And I'd like to congratulate Joey tonight. We honor your accomplishments, and let's hear it from you firsthand on how this is meant and what it's meant to you. And here's a little video.
So Joey, how long have you been with MVLE?
20 years.
Okay, Joey, so how is it working at Giant independently?
I get up and working hard.
What do you like best about your new job, Joey?
I get up. I go because yeah, I was nice.
Joey, what would you recommend to others that you were working with at the State Department?
Being independent.
Being independent and with all right, to come and do their best, right? Awesome. Okay, Joey, and would you recommend that they try a job like Giant?
Yes.
And why?
Because you're in a job now, and I think I enjoy it.
Good job, Joey. Thank you.
Although the video didn't speak as well to the accomplishments, but I can assure you, this was a huge step for Joey, leaving something that he knew and had been part of, and working in a team of individuals and friends to stepping out. That in itself is a huge leap, but stepping out during a pandemic is even larger. The fact that he is not in fear of the opportunity that is given to him to help serve others and go to work every day, rising to the challenge and speaking to everyone else, come out and try it, is huge words of encouragement, because when they see him accomplishing his goals, others will follow. And we look forward to seeing many more reaching for this challenge and reaching towards independence. So thank you, Joey. Thank you to the job coach. Thank you to Giant for making it possible for Joey to reach his goals.
Hi, I'm Jeff McKay, Chairman of the Fairfax County Board of Supervisors, and it's my pleasure to join you tonight virtually as you celebrate another year of success for MVLE and the MVLE community. I've long been a supporter of MVLE and have had the pleasure to join you at many, many annual events, and I'm sorry that this year is different than most and we can't be in person. I do tell you, though, that my MVLE Community Champion Award is held dear to my heart here in Fairfax County, and I always remember all the great work that MVLE does to support those in need in our community. This year is difficult, and as a community, we've come together in ways we've never expected to fight a worldwide pandemic and to protect those in our community who are susceptible to being infected by COVID-19. People have come together to sew and donate masks, to make sure kids have lunch to eat during distance learning, and for picking up groceries for their neighbors and just doing wellness checks for people in the community. It really makes me proud in Fairfax County that we have a community that's empathetic enough to be concerned about the well-being of others. That said, COVID-19 is still a risk, and I ask all of you to please continue to protect yourselves, wear a mask, socially distance, and wash your hands so that we can get through this pandemic with success in Fairfax County, and so that we can gather again together to celebrate all the great work that's done in our community. In particular, the work that MVLE does to help people find jobs and employment and provide day support to folks who are in need is so critical to the well-being and to the mental health of so many people in our community. I thank you for all the work you do, to the board of directors of MVLE who play a major role in making sure that programming at MVLE is successful, to the cutting edge programs that you've put in place to make sure that we can advance all people in Fairfax County, regardless of ability. You've been on the front lines, and I'm proud of the work that you as a nonprofit have done to support our community this year and every year. Please continue to stay well, and I hope to see you all in.
Thank you, Chairman McKay. And I have to be honest that was not easy to roll off because I'm so used to calling him Supervisor McKay. As you can tell by that comment, Chairman McKay has been a longtime friend of MVLE's. He's come to tour, he's come to ask questions, he's come to greet, he's been at our farm to table dinner, he's been at our golf tournament. As you can see on his Facebook page, he goes everywhere. He is a vital part of why Fairfax County is so successful, because of his leadership and the leadership of other board of supervisors. Just like our theme of tonight's evening, Rising to the Challenge, what he spoke was about how we are innovating and what we're doing with the dollars that are given to us. Soon there will be an impact annual report that you'll be able to print off from our Facebook page or our web page. We don't have it prepared tonight. Part of what we're doing tonight is just the stories to connect all the pieces. I know that in the chat box, it was asked, when are we going to open? I'll answer more of that in a detailed message a little later on. But in the meantime, I want to first recognize our next award tonight. It goes to key partners, because that's also what makes MVLE move forward, is the partnerships. And two vital partnerships is that Fairfax County Falls Church Community Services Board and Loudoun Community Services Board. Kevin LaFin with Fairfax Community Services Board and Sarah Westfall from Loudoun CSB. Both CSBs have been extremely supportive in a time that no one knows what is going to happen tomorrow. But we've had weekly calls with them. We've had weekly emails. I'm sure that they get tired of hearing from us sometimes, but it's through those messaging that they see that MVLE was really trying to pivot and change almost overnight a service that is in person on a daily basis to virtual learning, to our volunteer program. The program that I'm talking about has grown in supporting over 100 individuals on a weekly basis, providing over 232 hours of classes each week. And not only are we providing these virtual classes, but so is Sarah joining in to see firsthand how we're doing it. Kevin LaFin continues to advocate to make sure we're getting the needed funds to help keeping these connectivity pieces, our volunteer program, how over 232 hours each week being able to connect our volunteers into delivering services that can help. Otherwise, individuals would be sitting at home doing absolutely nothing. Their advocacy has helped our outside the box thinking on how we were going to do what we needed to do to get iPads to the right places, to train our staff on how to use technology beyond firsthand of how they used it in person to doing it from home. Thank you for supporting us and being patient and helping us bridge the gap and open the door for virtual learning. The next part of what we were able to do through their advocacy and their patient was to create and recognize a provider called MPower Me. MPower Me is a Virginia Medicaid provider working with individuals and their support system to provide technology-based solutions that are personalized for each individual. Now that might be a lot of words, but what it really means is taking a piece of electronic that helps them be the prompter where they can't have a live human being right next to them. They can have a device that can help prompt them through their day so that it can increase their independence and help them continue to achieve their goals with or without us by empowering me in place of some live services, without which it would make it difficult to connect some of the pieces. Empower Me continues to look for more ways to partner with programs like MVLE and ensure provisions of services during this pandemic and beyond. It is innovative for sure. It is hot off the press. Some state legislators were still questioning on how we can make sure the quality is there. We are continuing to work on those things. And we are really energized by looking at new ways of delivering a service and supporting our individuals who are suffering through this pandemic just like you and I. I am very excited to introduce Tamika Boyd-Majors, who has worked with Empower Me to help our staff deliver this needed service during this pandemic time. So without further ado, Tamika Boyd-Majors, here's her words.
My name is Tamika Majors-Boyd, and I'm the Electronic Record Specialist at MVLE. My role is to provide quality for MVLE's electronics file records for individuals served. I also participate in auditing processes and train staff on how to update and maintain our electronic records. This year, I have relied heavily on family and loved ones to help me cope and navigate through these challenging times. They've been my anchor and the best support system I could ask for. During this year, my role at MVLE has changed to project manager for a great assistive technology app called My Guide by Empower Me. When MVLE reopens, I'm most looking forward to seeing everyone's smiling faces and reconnecting with the individuals we serve. My Guide is a mobile app-based accommodation that can be used for skill development as well as supported communication. This assistive technology allows for completely customizable processes that increase independence and participation for individuals with eye and D disabilities. MVLE is using My Guide to remotely bridge the gap of supports provided due to the COVID-19 pandemic. MVLE's individuals are excited about receiving some level of support again, even if it is being provided remotely. Our individuals use My Guide for a variety of supports ranging from community engagement guides like going to the store or going to an appointment, employment guides like counting coins, folding towels, or how to dress for a job interview, or even personal guides like completing a morning routine or doing the laundry. Because My Guide is 100% customizable to fit the individuals that use it, the possibilities for remote support via My Guide are endless.
Thank you, Tamika. All of that is very important to us rising to the challenge and moving to the path forward. In the chat box, there was a couple questions about when we're going to open. I would love to announce tonight that it's tomorrow because many of us feel the same way. Just as in the heart video, seeing all those faces made us all yearn for the days that we were all working side by side and working towards our mission and our vision. But until then, we're going to have to sit tight and follow the CDC guidance and work with our community leaders to do everything they're saying so that we can all stay safe. Your connection right now is to your DSP, your program manager. We've sent out in the last couple of days 2 memos that will give more details about what we're doing, where to go, and who to advocate for. So please look for those memos. If you can't find them in an email, please reach out to staff and they'll get them to you as quickly as possible. But until then, have you seen driving by hospitals, you see huge hero signs. I would love to be able to walk to every staff person and carry that hero sign, but my Fitbit only goes up to 10,000 miles and I'd be way beyond trying to get to everybody's doors. In the meantime, I want to tell you a little more story about our staff. We would not be able to launch our virtual services if our dedicated staff didn't take time to learn a new way of delivering their services. Most of our staff are hands-on and love the human connectivity, but they saw that rising to the challenge, they needed to learn to do things differently. In mid-May, our MVLE's volunteer program, again, virtually overnight, stood up a virtual platform. Thank you, Sabrina Gibson, for not wavering and continued the challenge and connected to all our volunteers. Again, another shout out to our heroes. Since May, over 35 regular and special event volunteers have provided 262 activities for an average of over 150 individuals each week. That is amazing that they're continuing to connect and continuing to care right from their own living rooms. MVLE began providing virtual learning services in June with 2 individuals. And we thought that was pretty impressive. But quickly did we realize that we could reach more. And now we're over 100 individuals each week, offering 7 classes daily. Between group day and group supportive employment staff are working small groups, providing competency-based curriculum, classes that address individuals' outcomes to help them connect and have a quality of life during this pandemic. Our individual supportive employment program continues to work with individuals through this pandemic. In fact, they didn't miss a beat. Our individuals working at our 8 different military bases are continuing to work in janitorial custodial jobs. We've advanced 2 individuals out of group supported into ISE independent. We continue to encourage those and more people to look for ways to find employment for those that are ready to step out, just as Joey did. Our ISE department has grown by 50% since the pandemic has started. Now I would like to introduce just a few staff members firsthand that will tell their story and speaking in behalf of all of our staff, our direct service professionals, our volunteers, and so many more. You will get to hear from Sabrina Gibson, Steve Annan, and Takesha Fitzhugh, a site manager.
My name is Sabrina Gibson, and I'm the volunteer coordinator at MVLE. My role is to recruit volunteers whose many skills and expertise enhance the lives of the adults with disabilities we serve. This year, I have been Zooming. Zooming has helped me cope. It has been an anchor for me in the storm of a very challenging year. I look forward every morning to seeing the individuals, volunteers, and staff at our Zoom meetings. Zoom does require a lot of sitting, and to alleviate that and stress, I also walk 2.4 miles each day. During this year, my role at MVLE has changed from coordinating an all in-person volunteer program to an all virtual volunteer program. We started in mid-May with 6 virtual volunteer activities and 3 volunteers to now in November, we have 48 virtual volunteer activities scheduled with 30 volunteers. We've been able to switch over almost all our volunteer programs from exercise, cooking, Our Voices Count advocacy program, horticulture, music. We've been very successful about switching all of those over. We were able to make this transition from in-person to virtual volunteer activities through training and really all learning Zoom together. Once the decision was made to go to all virtual volunteer programs, We immediately started taking every Zoom class we could find. I know I did. With the help of Michelle Latrecchiano and Sarah Caldwell, we started writing up training documents, such as instructions for using Zoom and Zoom etiquette and good practices documents. These were for individuals, volunteers, parents, whoever needed that. Also, one of the volunteers, one of our computer volunteers, Albert, helped me conduct Zoom features classes with the individuals, as well as these Zoom etiquette classes with them. I also did one-on-one sessions with volunteers and parents who needed refresher courses in using Zoom, and also work with those who had never used Zoom before. So a lot of training going on. We then went to building our email base of all the volunteers who wanted to participate and make the switch to virtual volunteer programming. We made up an email database of all the individuals who want to participate in the virtual volunteer programs. And presently, we have a calendar that goes out every month with the volunteer activities on there, followed up on a weekly basis with the Zoom invites that go out every Thursday for the following week. The virtual volunteer activities are extremely important to the individuals, help alleviate their sense of isolation that COVID-19 has ushered in. The volunteers, not only the volunteers from the site they were assigned to, but the volunteers from the other sites that get to see their coworkers, their friends, the staff. Virtual volunteer activities give the individuals a chance to have fun, and yet at the same time maintain many of those skills they were learning in the centers and learn new skills online with us. Such as the Zoom features and Zoom etiquette classes, cybersecurity, and then on Friday mornings, mock job interview classes. I have received many wonderful emails from parents expressing how much they appreciate the virtual volunteer programming, how much it means to their sons and daughters. And also, I'm looking forward to the day when MVLE reopens, and when it does, I'll look very forward to seeing all the individuals and staff and volunteers face to face and doing tours again. I miss that very much, doing tours with the new potential volunteers and letting them know about MVLE's mission and our volunteer opportunities I miss that.
My name is Steve Annan. I'm a direct support professional with the Employment Services Department. This year, I have been maintaining a work schedule, particularly before and after work, by taking time to eat breakfast before getting on my laptop for Zoom meetings and trainings. In the afternoon, I take an hour or so to decompress with activities that included cooking, taking long walks with my dog, reading, and exercising. During this year, my role at MVLE changed from physically assisting individuals to being socially connected while physically distanced for safety reasons. An end to isolation, be able to physically interact with individuals, co-workers, and show physical acts of love. MVLE's virtual services have been important because it has been used as digital platforms to conduct wellness checks, host workshops and events, facilitate virtual discussions, share information and resources, and help connect with the broader community. MVLE virtual services are provided little or no risk, controlled areas, and done remotely, as well as saving time and money. It's suitable for all different learning styles. It's innovative and it's enjoyable.
Hello, I'm Takesha Fitzhugh, and I'm the Assistant Site Manager at MVLE Chantilly. My role is to ensure all individuals are safe and all staff have all the knowledge and materials that they need to ensure all skills and goals are being met or exceeded in our day program. This year, I've coped with the new way of life with this COVID-19 pandemic by following all CDC regulations and staying in. I usually spend my time with my grandson, and I do small projects around my house to keep myself busy. During this year, my role at MVLE has changed drastically. I am now a virtual teacher. I teach staff and individuals, ensuring that they both are getting the tools and the skills necessary to maintain focus on our services and the goals that they have yet to meet or are meeting. When MVLE opens, I'm hoping that we can use those tools and those same skills that we're learning in virtual to apply to our day-to-day operation at our day program services. MVLE virtual services have been important because it keeps our individual focused and it gives them routine. It gives them their routine back. Our individuals have had to adjust and deal with this change, and it helps them to see familiar faces every day and continuing the encouragement for them to meet and exceed their goals that are important to them as individuals. MVLE's focus has always been that, to maintain focus on our individuals and help them reach their goals.
Hi, MVLE. Gosh, we at Linda Box have really missed you guys. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what's been going on since you were last here. This has been a year of silver linings on thunderclouds. Just really strange ups and downs. But the thing that we're most proud of is that we've been able to keep our company open, not only taking care of our clients, but taking care of our amazing employees too. We changed the way that we wash our boxes. Just like people, our boxes need to go into quarantine when they come back. So we keep them for 3 days before we even touch them. And they're vacuumed and washed, and we've added a disinfectant stage. We're using hydrogen peroxide now instead of bleach because bleach was too hard for the humans. We did a little bit of a pandemic pivot in that we partnered up with some larger companies and leveraged our moving logistics expertise. In fact, we sold 4 52-foot truckloads of cardboard to the U.S. Naval Academy to help a company pack out all of their cadets after spring break, because once the pandemic hit, the students weren't able to return back to school. And so we got to be part of that huge logistics operation. And I got a taste of things bigger than what we usually do here. So that was really exciting. Even though we can't see you guys in person, we really do miss you. And we sure do look forward to having you guys coming back in 2021 and working with us here at Linda Box. I am so grateful for our friends at MVLE. I've enjoyed participating in your virtual events, and the folks here at Linda Box really do miss our crew, and we think about you often. So I wanted to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. I hope that you have lots of board games and really fun conversations with your close family. Remember to wash your hands and mask up and do all the things that you can to keep yourself safe so that we can see each other in person real soon. I look forward to seeing you in 2021. Thanks.
Wow. I am in complete awe this evening, seeing all our videos, hearing from all our staff, listening to our state legislators, hearing about our volunteer program, hearing about our virtual services, recognizing that most all of this took a turn and we achieved it because we together can achieve more. We can always rise to the challenge. Stephanie Zimmerman was an example of a partner who saw the value through her lens of her heart and realized the skill set within each of our individuals. But it doesn't stop there. This evening, we also want to recognize a few other staff. And these two individuals have worked tirelessly on so many different occasions, and beyond time that I can tell you that we labor through Zoom meetings and phone calls and conference calls. I want to congratulate our Community Services Board for recognizing and developing these awards, because they are very much meant to help us rise to the occasion to celebrate excellence. And I want to congratulate Keenan Aiden and Sandy Pilar for their tireless dedication to all of our individuals, our mission, our vision, the individuals we serve. Well done to dedicating your time, your sometimes life, in support of this year. Thank you for rising to the challenge. I also want to shift to almost, it's hard to believe that an hour's gone by, but here we are. The last thing I want to recognize this evening is part of our new online service was Morning Moves. And it was something that was truly inspiring, and how quickly Margot was able to pivot and help us deliver our Morning Moves program. The connection and liveliness, I participated in it, and I wish I could jump out of meetings just to move around a bit. But I want to recognize Margot for supporting us and connecting not only for our families and our stakeholders at MVLE, but North Virginia at large, because everybody was in quick need of this service. And even worldwide, she works with the same program. I also want to recognize and congratulate her because she was this year's Martha Glennon Award for her work in inclusion through MVLE Moves program. Hats off. But before I say goodbye, I want to thank each and every one of you for joining tonight, for taking time out and testing your Zoom skills, for rising to the challenge and getting ready for 2021. I know that we're ready, and we know that the crisis isn't over yet. And we know that we need to work with purpose to find that path forward and continue standing alongside and creating futures one person at a time. In true annual dinner fashion, we can't end this evening without our famous fun dance party. So now I'll turn it over to Margot to help close us out. Job well done, everybody. I couldn't have thanked and done any of this without Sarah Caldwell, Arian from FedCap Group, our board of directors for always being patient to waiting for my emails to come late at night, for all of our staff, for all of our sponsors. Applause, applause. I am jumping up and down if you can't see me in that little box. Thank you again, and Margot, it's all yours.
Hello, everybody. Really wonderful to be here, and thank you so much for congratulating me on the award from this year. It's really an honor, and I know that our time is short and we want to wrap up. So I do want to share an invitation for those of you that like to move and like to feel like you're in a nice, big, happy group of people. Please accept my invitation to Morning Moves 2.0, which meets every morning at 10 a.m. every weekday. And I think since this is the end of our time together, I want to show you how we bow in our Morning Moves class, because ritual and coming to the end of things is really important. In our Morning Moves class, we typically have, a couple dozen people from, a lot of them from Northern Virginia and from MVLE, but all across the United States and around the world. So it's really fun to know that what we have been doing on site, at the facilities for the past 5 years is now a global experience. And so I invite you all to do that with me. So when we finish up a class, we bow the same way every day. We've been doing this ever since the end of March. And I know from looking at our chat or our participants numbers, we have at least 84 people right now, right here, in this big giant group, right? And probably some of you have a friend or a family member with you too. So we might have a couple hundred people right here, right now. And we can imagine that we're all in the same room together, or better yet, we're all outside in a big, beautiful park, all right? The way we bow at the end of class, we have 4 sentences and 4 movements that go along with them. I'm going to say them and do them together a couple times. Follow me to the best of your ability. You can dance big or small, however you're feeling tonight. So, I am strong. That's our first movement. Some of you might recognize this from the annual dinner last year. We were just getting started with this dance last year. I am strong. My feelings are important. I put a heart shape on my chest, or you might even bring it out towards the screen, right? I deserve to feel safe. Can you wrap yourself up in a hug? I deserve to feel safe. A gentle hug. Or maybe if you're with somebody, you can give a hug right now. And then the last movement, I deserve respect. Reach out towards the camera like you want to shake my hand. And I'm going to shake my own for now. But again, if you've got somebody next to you, shake a hand. All right. Those are the 4 movements. I'm going to show them one more time again with the words, and then I'll turn on some music and we can do that dance together without me talking. We can just remember the ideas. So I am strong. We are strong in so many ways, right? Who else could get through this? We can. My feelings are important. All of the feelings that we might have right now, the good ones and the hard ones, they're all important. I deserve to feel safe, right? This might be a time when we're afraid, but we deserve to feel safe. And we're going to try to make that happen for each other. And I deserve respect. I've got a lot of it to give. Okay. Dance along with me now to one of my favorite songs. I think it's really appropriate. I've heard this word a couple times tonight.
We're driving away. We can beat them. Just for one day.
One more time. Here we go.
We can be heroes. Just for one day. You can be me. I drink all the time. 'Cause I love us.
That is how we end class every day. We appreciate, where we're at, what's going on for us, and we appreciate the community of people that come together. Again, I invite all of you, and your families and your friends to join me on weekdays at 10 a.m. In the chat, I put a registration link, and it's a free class. So come on along, share the link with your friends and family all over the place. The more, the merrier. The MVLE family is just so important to me right now. I'm really grateful to be here with you all tonight, and I'm going to give this back to April.
Thank you, everyone. Once again, we greatly appreciate your time tonight and look forward to next year's. Stay safe, wash those hands, and we look forward to seeing you soon.